Muted.
Hi everyone. Today is Wednesday, December 16th, 2015, and this is the webinar Social Media 101. I'm Rebecca Crevitt, the Community Engagement and Communications Associate, and I'm here with Aviva Crystal, NCJW's new Community Engagement Associate. Together, we're going to show you how you can get started using Twitter and Facebook for both your section's promotion and for your own activism. We will make all of the resources we discussed today available for you after this training, and please do not hesitate to reach out to myself or Aviva afterwards if you have any remaining questions.
We also want to thank everyone for the feedback that you gave us when registering for this webinar. Your questions guided the creation of these tutorials, so that input was very helpful for us, and we hope it will be helpful for all of you as well. Just a few housekeeping points before we begin. We just want to remind everyone that this call's audio is being recorded. The agenda for our call today is as follows. We'll have a brief explanation of the what and the why of social media, then our Twitter demonstration followed by a brief Q&A, then our Facebook demonstration followed by another Q&A. Between these Q&As, the audience will be muted, and during our question and answer session, everyone will be unmuted in an open forum style, so please be aware of that. Thank you all for being here. Let's get started.
Social media is a tool for sharing information, a place to connect with friends and folks with similar interests, and most importantly, a vehicle for each and every person to express their valuable opinions about just about everything. No longer is the dialogue around current events restricted to the very privileged few media personalities and celebrities. This is critical for marginalized populations, women, people of color, low-income folks, trans folks, who previously had their opinions silenced by mainstream media. Every person's voice can be amplified by the power of social media. Your voice matters, and your voice is important. We know how hard learning these skills can be. Aviva and I are lucky to have grown up with most of these tools, but it really is like learning a whole new language. So I'd love to give you all credit for being here. We so appreciate you digging into this challenging new world to join the current landscape of social justice movements and keep the NCJW mission alive and innovative.
So the big question now is, why is social media so important to us as activists? As Rebecca mentioned before, the main reason is that it has provided an open and equal forum for social engagement. Users are free to voice their opinions and connect with others through online dialogue. It's also provided a platform to directly communicate with decision makers and notables on a level never before seen. News and movements spread at a much faster rate, and groups can mobilize their members to make their voices heard on a wider scale. It's this ability to connect with like-minded individuals and to project your message to a broader audience that really makes social media, especially Twitter and Facebook, such powerful forces for change. There have been quite a few notable examples of movements that have gained momentum through social media, but one that I'm sure you all have heard about is Black Lives Matter.
The Black Lives Matter movement and hashtag was created by 3 women of color activists in the wake of the many murders of Black people at the hands of police brutality. Since the creation of the hashtag, there have been millions of Facebook posts and tweets. And it isn't just a hashtag. Because of this movement made viral by social media, people around the world are taking to the streets to send the message loud and clear that Black Lives Matter, and we won't stand idly by as long as police brutality is a regular occurrence. Racism is unfortunately still alive and well today, and social media was able to bring this issue to the national stage where activists would have usually been ignored by the national media.
As you will soon see, there is a good deal of overlap in viral movements between different social media platforms. However, one that was particularly helped along by Facebook was the Als Ice Bucket Challenge from the summer of 2014. This was a fundraising and awareness-raising campaign where, if the challenge was accepted, participants would film themselves dumping a bucket of ice water over their heads. The next step was to nominate others to take the challenge. The nominees had the choice of either completing the challenge or donating $100 to ALS research. This campaign was especially effective on Facebook because users could upload their videos and directly challenge others easily on one social network. The results of the campaign were staggering. Celebrities and politicians across the nation participated, and a total of $115 million was raised in one summer alone. Although this is a particularly grand example, knowing that this was all facilitated through social media makes it pretty clear that using these tools can be exceptionally powerful, even on a smaller local scale.
At National, we use social media for a variety of reasons. To spread the word about the work we are doing, to encourage people to sign our action alerts, share our opinions, promote events and distance learning calls we are having, and tell lawmakers directly how we feel about the issues we are working on. It is a wonderful way for us to stay in touch and connected with our members and supporters even when we may be far away. The same applies for sections. With a section social media account, you can engage your constituencies, share your opinions, publicize events, promote the work that you are doing, and attract new members and supporters. The opportunities are endless. First, I will begin with a demo about Twitter. Twitter is an amazing space to engage with people one-on-one about important topics and to read about the latest up-to-the-minute news. Think about each tweet like a newspaper headline or a concise, interesting thought. Some of you may be on Twitter personally or for your section. For those of you who aren't on Twitter, visit www.twitter.com. If this is your first time on Twitter, sign up where it says New to Twitter, sign up. Type in your full name, email, and a password for your new Twitter account. Twitter will then send an email to you asking for you to confirm that you are a real person using this email and not a robot. Twitter will then ask for your phone number for the sake of security and also to help build your network. They can connect your cell phone contacts for you to follow, but you can also skip this if you would like. We have created an account for the sake of this demonstration. Hannah G. NCJW. Once you are set up, Twitter will ask you what you are interested in. This is a good way to begin building your account because Twitter will suggest accounts for you to follow based on these interests. If you included your phone number, Twitter will then suggest accounts for you to follow based on your phone number. After this, Twitter will ask for a photo. We recommend you use a photo and not the egg image, which Twitter will give you if you don't choose a photo, so that people can see that you are a real person. Look at our beautiful faces. If you are creating an account for your section, upload your section's logo. If you need a copy of your section's logo, feel free to reach out to myself or Aviva and we can send it to you. Twitter will then ask you to find people you know. This is again another great way to begin building your follower base and Twitter community, beginning with your inner circle and community. You can sync it to your email for Twitter to find your email contacts by clicking your email provider in the top right corner of the screen. Once Twitter finds who you know, you can choose to follow whoever you want or not. Twitter will continue giving you suggestions for who to follow once you begin. Before we continue, I'd like to explain a few terms. A tweet is a message that you send publicly on Twitter. It can only be 140 characters, including spaces. A follow is someone or an organization whose tweets you would like to see in your timeline. A timeline is a list of tweets from the people you follow, kind of like your home page. It's continuously updated. A follower is someone who can see your tweets in their timeline. And finally, the famous hashtag. A hashtag is like a link in a tweet. If you click on it or search for it, you can find tweets about a singular topic. We will go into hashtags and how you can use them a little bit later. We're now going to begin the live demo portion. We wanted to show you an example of what your profile will look like once you fill out the description of yourself and start tweeting. Here is Belinda Lasky's profile. You can see she has a picture of herself and has tweeted 61 times with 73 people or organizations she is following and can see what they are tweeting. She has 21 people who follow her and can see what she is tweeting in their timeline. At the top bar, you can see home, moments, notifications, and messages. Home is where your timeline is. Click there anytime to see what the people you follow are tweeting. Notifications is where you can find who is retweeting, liking your tweets, as well as the people who are replying to your tweets. To show you an example of how to find people you would like to follow, I will search for our CEO, Nancy Kaufman, and follow her by clicking on her profile and the follow button on the top right of the screen. If you click on your own picture at the top right of the screen, it will take you to your profile. Click on Edit Profile at the top right to add a bio for yourself and other information. If you click on that same photo at the top right, you can also find the Settings button where you can adjust a variety of things about your account. If you have friends on Twitter, or if your section has a Twitter, use the search bar at the top right that says Search Twitter to find the people or organizations you want to follow. For example, if you search NCJW and hit Enter, there you will find all of the people tweeting about NCJW. At the top bar, you will see Top, Live, Accounts, Photos, Videos, and more options. If you click on Live, you see who is tweeting about NCJW in real time. If you click on Accounts, you will find the NCJW national account as well as many section accounts. We encourage you to follow each other and all of the NCJW sections. If we all follow each other, we can amplify each other's voices and the NCJW organization in general. Here is an example of a section's Twitter. You can see that they mostly tweet about our issues and are spreading the word about the kinds of topics that we care about. Now it's time to tweet. In the top right corner, you will see a button that says Tweet. Now write what you would like to tweet. You may have to adjust to make sure that it falls under the 140 character limit, and you can see how many characters you have left on the bottom right corner of the tweeting box. Retweeting means that you are tweeting someone else's tweet onto your own profile page, and it will show up on the timelines of the people who follow you. You can retweet by clicking the retweet button that looks like two arrows shaped into a circle. If you click on your profile, you can see a collection of all the tweets and retweets you've tweeted. Going back to Belinda's profile in a moment, you can see everything that she has retweeted and tweeted. Liking means that you are telling someone that you've seen their tweet and are acknowledging it, or like it, just like on Facebook. But it does not show up in your profile page or the timelines of the people who follow you. If you want to reply to someone's tweet, click the left pointing arrow at the bottom of a tweet and a box will pop up with the person's handle already included. A handle is a person's account beginning with the @ symbol. If you would like to directly address someone, open up the tweeting box and type in the @ symbol and the person or organization that you would like to directly address. Remember, all of this is public, so anyone can see what you are tweeting. A hashtag will collect all of the tweets that include that particular hashtag. Like the example of Black Lives Matter, if you search for that hashtag, you can see all of the people who are in conversation about that subject. Again, if you click on Live, in the top bar, you can see everyone who is tweeting about the topic Black Lives Matter in real time. Hashtags are particularly useful for many things, but two examples I want to highlight are Twitter chats and live tweeting. Twitter chats are specific times where a group of people are having a live online discussion about a particular topic. Your section can host a Twitter chat, perhaps at one of our initiatives, and ask questions, and people will respond using the hashtag that you have chosen for that particular chat. Usually these asks last about an hour. Users can follow the conversation by searching for the hashtag that you are using. For example, tonight Planned Parenthood and the awesome blog Feministing are teaming up for a tweet chat using the hashtag #ActNoMatterWhat. If you search for that hashtag, you can see everyone gearing up for it, sharing what time it is happening and what people should be tweeting about during that time. We absolutely encourage you to join with all of the lessons that you've learned today. Now on to live tweeting. This is my absolute favorite part of Twitter. During a major national event, such as the Academy Awards, the Super Bowl, or the presidential debate, or during a local section event, such as a speaker or a conference, you can live tweet what is happening and encourage others to do the same. Be sure to follow and tweet using the hashtag of that particular event and have fun. This is where you will likely get your most engagement because everyone at this event is reading the same list of tweets by following the hashtag. For example, during Leaders Retreat last year, we used the hashtag NCJWLead15. And if you click on or search that hashtag, you can see everyone who tweeted about Leaders Retreat in real time. Thank you, everyone, for listening and for being here. Again, we know how hard learning this language can be, so thank you for all of your hard work to keep NCJW on the forefront of social change. We will now open up the floor for questions about Twitter specifically or anything else we have discussed so far. And after that, Aviva will begin her demonstration about using Facebook to further your section goals.
Before we dive into questions, I'd just like to know if there's anybody who has joined us who didn't say their name during our attendance at the beginning of the call.
I didn't.
Who is this?
B. Podorevsky, NCJW, Bergen County Section.
Hi, B. Thank you for being with us today. Anybody else?
You're welcome.
Yes.
Yes, this is Carrie Ray, and I'm trying to get on the call, or trying to get on the webinar. Is it too late to get on the webinar itself?
You can. Just follow the link, and you'll be directed as it's explained in the email. Can you repeat your name just one more time?
Carrie Ray.
Okay, great. Thank you for joining us. All right.
Okay. Also, Diana Grayson from West Morris Section in New Jersey.
Hi, Diana. Thanks for being with us as well.
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions about Rebecca's Twitter demonstration? We can talk a little bit more about live tweeting if you'd like. She's the live tweeting queen around here, so we'd love to hear your thoughts.
This is Ann Levenstein. It went pretty fast. Will we be getting something in a copy emailed to us what the dialogue was?
Sure. Yes, we can. We'll be sending out the audio recording as well as some other resources for everyone to use after the call is done.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
No problem.
Is there anything that you'd like me to go over again? Because if it was a little fast, I'm happy to go back and review.
I have a quick question, if I may please ask. I would like to do some tweets when we are doing serving for the homeless shelter. So you said go into, and I want it to be on the national page. So I just go into hashtag NCJW, and what else do I put on that hashtag?
Well, so if you'd like us at the national, at the national office to retweet you, feel free to send us an email. We'll have our contact information at the end. Our handle is @NCJW. So you can email us, and we will make sure to look out for your tweets, and we'd be happy to retweet you and promote the work that you're doing.
Okay, so when I am doing that at the shelter and I'm taking pictures, I want to add. Am I going into moments, notifications, messages? Which part am I?
You can tweet directly at us by opening up the Twitter box. Let me just show you the tweeting box right there at the top right of the screen. And if you click on tweet, you can tag us just like that. You can by writing out our handle and then typing whatever you want, whatever photos you want to include. You can include photos by clicking on media.
Okay.
And then we'll be able to see your tweet, and if whoever is tweeting and watching the Twitter account at that time, if they don't retweet you, just please feel free, shoot us an email. It is our pleasure to promote the kinds of events that you're doing in your sections. It's something that we've been trying to do more consciously, and more often. So please just give us a heads up, and we'd be more than happy to spread the word about whatever you're doing.
Great, thank you.
This is Alice Klein. Specifically, if I send something to you, I just want to confirm, if there is no one there at your place or who's responsible for the Twitter account, nothing then will happen. No one else can see it, correct?
So all of the people who follow you will be able to see it.
Right, that I know. I guess the question is more how we share things. If we're each in charge of our own. So NCJW is in charge of their own, and if I have it, you'll get it, but no one else will see it unless you retweet it, correct?
Right, our followers won't see it. At the NCJW account, our followers won't see it unless we retweet it, but your followers will.
Right, okay, got that. Thank you.
Hi, this is Christy Wesson calling from Minneapolis.
Hi, Christy.
There.
Hello. I have a question actually just about the social media in general. I realize we haven't reached the Facebook portion of the presentation yet. This is unbelievably helpful for our section members, by the way. I'm wondering if there are any rules and regulations that come from National directly regarding posts specifically about politicians, political organizations, et cetera, surrounding, because we're a 501c3 organization, are there any kind of limitations about things that we can post about? Does that make sense?
Yes, and we're glad you asked this question. We are going to touch on this later, but I'll just tell this to everybody now. Because of the 501c3 regulations, we are not supposed to post anything promoting a political party or a particular candidate. So if anybody has any questions as to whether something they want to post does that or may possibly break that rule, you can feel free to contact Jody Rabhan in the DC office, and we have her contact information at the end of the presentation.
Hey Aviva, this is Lindsay Morris in the NCJW Washington office.
Hi Lindsay.
And just jump in there also. Thank you so much for that question. It's so critical, and this goes for all social media and really all of your messages to members over email and your bulletins. You cannot endorse or oppose any candidates. If you have any questions, like Aviva said, you can contact Jody or you can contact me. You can send it to both of us. We're happy to look it over. We also keep our eye out on Facebook pages and Twitter accounts for potential violations. Aviva and Rebecca are probably going to talk about this later, but you can message your lawmakers, and Twitter is a great way to communicate with them about issues that matter.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. That's excellent.
And in our resources that we'll send you, we're going to send you the handles of all of your Congress people, all of their Twitter accounts. You can flood their inboxes with opinions and what your section thinks. I also did want to ask a question because I am sort of obsessed with live tweeting. Lindsay, about NCJW sections tweeting at the debates.
Yeah.
Is that okay if you tweet about the issues being talked about and not, if you tweet at both debates?
Yeah, thanks for that question. So we are very cautious related to 501c3, and because there have been so many debates, we've realized that we don't have the capacity to follow both the Republican and the Democratic debates. But what Rebecca said is definitely true, that if you want to tweet during the debates, they have to be focused on the issue. So you can say, oh, thank you, Senator Rubio, for talking to, well, no, I wouldn't even actually bring in candidates. I'd say, like, at the debate, they talked about minimum wage. Hope we can increase minimum wage or something. So you're not relating it to what things were said. And if you're choosing to talk about an issue during a debate, what Rebecca said, we encourage you to follow both Republican and Democratic debates, so you're not kind of elevating one over the other. You're giving both equal coverage. Though we do caution you during the debates, and I'm happy to talk more offline with people about that. You can. What I would recommend is also watching that NCJW account and see how we use it to lift up, to comment to senators or lawmakers. It's a great thing to look at how other people are tweeting to get ideas on kind of best practices of using Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. We only have time for 1 or 2 more questions before we jump into the Facebook portion. So does anyone else have questions before we begin?
Alice, I'd like to can you possibly explain again the difference between the @ sign and the pound sign and when to use which?
Yes, of course, absolutely. So the @ sign indicates a person or an organization that you can follow. For example, we're circling on the screen, this is Marco Rubio's account here. And if you click on it, you'll be able to see their profile.
There's Marco Rubio.
There's Marco Rubio and all the things that he is tweeting. Or his, better yet, probably his staffers are tweeting. But then a hashtag, which is a hashtag is really like a conversation happening on Twitter. So if you click on the GOP debate, as we're here, you can see everyone who is tweeting about the debate itself. So
someone has to set that.
To make this a little bit more relevant for our purposes,
we're going to go to the Act No Matter What hashtag that we mentioned earlier. This is a conversation that's going to be happening later that Planned Parenthood and Feministing are putting together. So it's just basically the hashtag kind of conglomerates all of the tweets about a particular topic.
And this is really one of the most fabulous things about Twitter. Like we were saying before, this is where everyone's voice can be heard. So no matter who puts Act No Matter What, hashtag Act No Matter What in their status, or excuse me, in their tweet, they are going to show up in this feed, and they are going to be seen by everybody on their in the conversation, which is really great and a really great way to be heard.
Right, and for example, this person, Alicia Johnson, I don't know her at all, but she's obviously someone who cares about the same kinds of things that NCJW cares about. And so she might be.
Where those cookies come from?
Her donuts look good.
Right? It can be fun. It can be playful. It's a great way to join in a supportive activist community. It's a great way to find people and organizations that support the things that we support, and really stand united together. Especially when things can get tough and we're feeling defensive about our issues. Twitter is a great place to come and feel solidarity and feel a community.
So
I asked the hashtag things, and you would have to know the exact name of a hashtag.
Well, if you're not sure, again, you can, if you're not sure exactly how people are spelling it, you can go to the search bar on the top and see what comes up. And usually the first one that comes down, if you're typing it out, will be the one that you're looking for. Like if you're looking for, Black Lives Matter, it's not going to be something that's misspelled. It's well, you have blackout as well, but these are just different hashtags, the correct ones.
And so it's not by topic, then you have to know the name. And someone somewhere set it up? Someone set it up somehow?
Yeah, and anyone can create a hashtag, really. It's just the popularity about it goes with the promotion. So for example, for Leaders Retreat, we just made up the hashtag NCJWLead15. And we just told everyone to start tweeting using that hashtag. And so that's how this happened. We decided what the hashtag was going to be. But yes, if you are trying to join a national conversation or a statewide conversation, you will have to use the right hashtag. Otherwise, for example, if you type in NCJW Leads 15, you won't find anything because that's not the right link to the conversation.
To go to @NCJW, correct?
If you do @NCJW in one of your tweets, then that tweet will show up in the feed of NCJW National.
Yeah, it'll show up in our notifications. Okay, so I think for the sake of time, we're going to move on to the Facebook portion of our presentation, but there will be more time at the end to ask questions. So hang tight.
And one of the
Rebecca, I'm sorry, just one other quick 501c3 to clarify. This is about if you're tweeting or on your Facebook message doing something. If you're doing it as an organization, you cannot be partisan. If it's an individual Facebook account or Twitter account, you're allowed to post whatever you want. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, thank you so much, Lindsay, for making that point. And again, if you are tweeting from yourself for your own personal opinions, tweet, go crazy, tweet whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. It's your opinion, and it really does matter. And like Lindsay said, but if you're tweeting from the NCJW account, you really do have to be careful about the 501c3 rules.
All right.
So we're about to mute you all again. And
Hello.
Hi there. Yes.
hi there. Can you all still see us?
Hear us.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but we can't hear you, Rebecca, when you muted.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so we're not going to mute you then, just for stay safe.
All right. So one of the things that's really nice about Facebook and Twitter is that there's a little bit of overlap. So I think that some of the things that Rebecca just talked about, you're going to hear some repeats. So hopefully that'll be helpful as well. So getting started with Facebook, I'm sure many of you are familiar with the social networks because it's the largest in the world with 1.55 billion monthly active users. That's a huge number, so being connected on here is super important. It can definitely help with your section's outreach and communication. Because many of you already have profiles, I'm going to focus on using Facebook for your sections page. They operate in very similar ways, so this tutorial will also give you an idea of how a personal page works. It's important to note that in order to create a section page, you'll need to have a personal account first. For those of you who do not yet have a profile, it's very easy to create. Simply go to the main site, www.facebook.com, and fill in the information underneath where it says sign up. You will see that it asks for your name, email or phone number, birthday, and to create a password. Once you fill out this information and click the green sign up button, you will receive a confirmation email or text message, depending on whether you entered an email address or phone number. Follow the instructions in that email or text, and you'll be good to go. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any further questions about creating a personal page. Once you have your personal page created, you can create a page for your section. On the Facebook homepage, underneath the green button that says Sign Up, click Create a Page for a Celebrity, Band, or Business. This will direct you to begin the process. You will be led to an illustrated list of pages to choose from. Click on Company, Organization, or Institution, and in the drop-down menu, you can find Nonprofit Organization. Then, you'll name your page. We recommend calling it NCJW, name of your section, or National Council of Jewish Women, name of your section. For example, one page is called NCJW Greater Rochester Section. Once you get started, Facebook will take you through various steps to fill out the page. It will begin with an About section. This is where people will get their first impression of your section. You can include part or all of the national mission statement and tailor it to include details about your own section. It's a good place to let everyone know that we're an organization of progressive values and action. Here, you can also choose a unique Facebook web address to make it easier for people to find you. You can make yours www.facebook.com/NCJW your section name. Borrowing another example from Rochester, they have made their unique web address www.facebook.com/ncjwgrs for Greater Rochester section. Now, you will be prompted to include a profile picture. We recommend using your section's logo for consistent branding. If you need a copy of your section's logo, please let us know and we can send it to you. Next, Facebook will ask if you want to add your NCJW page to your top sites on your personal page so you can find it easier. Top sites is a condensed list of your most visited pages, or pages of which you are an administrator. Because you will be creating this page for your section, you are automatically the administrator. It's helpful to have this page easily accessible, so you can definitely add it to your top sites if you wish. It will appear on the left sidebar underneath Newsfeed, Messages, and Events. Facebook will then ask who your preferred audience is. They'll recommend your page to whoever you include in your audience. Feel free to choose a target audience for your section. Type in your location, the age that you're targeting, and interest. You can also further narrow your audience based on categories that you add to the line called interest. Simply type in those categories. It could include feminism, equality, Judaism, social justice, or any others you'd like, and choose them from the drop-down menu that will appear. Now, click Next, and behold, your page is created. For the large background photo, called in Facebook terms a cover photo, you can pick a photo of members of your section, maybe engaged at a rally or at another event. Be creative. Change the picture, click on the camera logo in the top left corner of the screen. On the national page, you can see that the background photo is of many different women, representative of our members and the interests we serve. So now we are going to take you live to National's Facebook page to explain some more about the elements of your new page. You can add more information about your section in the About box on the left and in the About tab at the top right of the timeline. There's About down there and About next to the timeline. The timeline is all the posts on your profile in chronological order. In your About area, if your section has a web address, physical address, or public phone number, you can include that. The more information about your section you can fill in, the better. Going back to our sample page, which we will do in just a moment. Here we are. In the bottom right of the cover photo, there is a button that says Create Call to Action. You can customize this button by clicking on it and choosing which action you'd like to promote to your members. There is an option for donating, and with sign-ups, you can promote the Action Center or signing up for your mailing list, among other things. This is a great spot to promote fundraising initiatives, sign-ups for events, or anything else for your members or other interested people to get involved with. Make sure to keep this current. You don't want them trying to sign up for an event that has already passed. Now, to create a post, write what you would like to say in the Write Something section in the right column on the page. If you want to include a photo or graphic, click on the Photo/Video button next to Status. You can then upload your photo or video directly. To create a photo album, click Create a Photo Album below Upload Photos/Video. It's a good idea to make albums of photos from your section's events. When creating statuses, also, it's good to keep in mind that hashtags function in the same way as they do on Twitter. On Facebook, when you search for a hashtag in the search bar or click on one in a post, you'll be taken to the full conversation happening around that subject. Again, we're going to take you to the conversation happening around Black Lives Matter. So you can see it's very much like Twitter. Everything is posted in real time, and everybody's status that includes this hashtag is included. Type a hashtag into your post to have your post included in the conversation. And remember, when you add one to your post, it should be highlighted in blue. And also, you should never just post a hashtag by itself. Commentary and images are important. Now, if you want to mention another organization, use the @ symbol as you would on Twitter. Here, we'll use NCJW Israel's Facebook. Type the @ symbol followed by the name of the organization. A drop-down menu will appear, and you can click on the correct choice. As with hashtags, it will turn blue, which means that it will link to the NCJW Israel page once you publish the post. Now, NCJW Israel will see the post, and your followers can click on this link to be directed to that Facebook page. For your sections page, we recommend posting about your upcoming events or posting graphics related to the issues that you're working on. Always include a graphic with whatever you post, because Facebook's algorithms are such that posts with photos have better engagement. If you're looking for everyday inspiration, National posts 3 to 4 times a day. You can repost our materials by finding the post you want to share and clicking Share underneath it. You'll be able to include your own commentary if you want. It says, say something about this, and you can begin typing. On National's page, we have also posted a great deal of fantastic images and infographics. You can always search through recent or past posts for something relevant. Just so you know, an infographic is a representation of data or information in a graphic format, like a chart, and is usually presented in a visually appealing way. Also, CC is a great resource as well. You can check the social media guides that they have posted on my.ncjw.org. my.ncjw.org. If you're struggling with finding content, you can always post interesting articles related to our initiatives that you see in current events. When you post a link to an article in Facebook, the link will automatically include a graphic, either directly from the article or one of the news source's logo. You can see here that this article on human trafficking includes a photo from the article itself. For example, you can also post stories about ongoing relevant news, such as updates on Planned Parenthood, trafficking, or upcoming judicial nominations. Again, you can always repost any of our NCJW national materials, either from Facebook, Twitter, or the website. Now, when you start posting, everyone who likes your page can see what you have posted. When someone likes or comments on one of your posts, a red notification will pop up in the upper right-hand corner. To the left of that is a speech bubble that will indicate when someone has sent you a private message, which works just like it does on Twitter. To the left of that icon, you can see the new folks who have liked your page. Remember, the section page is different from a personal page in that you do not collect friends. Anyone who is interested in following you will like your page and will automatically get updates. You can also like other pages. So as with Twitter, we encourage you to like the pages of other sections and repost materials from each other. This way, our reach as a whole is that much greater. Now, finally, clicking on the Facebook icon on the top left is where you find your own news feed. This is a collection of the posts of the pages that you like, as well as where you can see your own posts in chronological order. So, now that we've given you these 101 basics, you'll be able to start using Twitter and Facebook in impactful ways for your sections and for your own personal activism. Start tweeting, commenting, liking, and sharing. The more you use Facebook and Twitter, the more comfortable you'll get. Be sure to be consistent about your posting. And also, as we spoke about earlier and as Lindsay mentioned, something that's very important to keep in mind is that because of our 501c3 status, we can't endorse any candidates or political parties. And again, please be careful about this. And with any questions, please talk to the DC office, either Jody or Lindsay. So now we're happy to take questions or comments from anybody in the office about the Facebook portion, or if you have any comments or questions about the Twitter portion that you thought of just now, you can let us know as well.
Hi, it's Christy Wesson again in Minneapolis.
Hi there.
I'm wondering if you guys might have a master list of all the sections that currently have Facebook pages so that we are able to follow them from our own section.
Yes, absolutely, and we can send that to you along with the rest of the resources that we have.
Great.
Absolutely.
And even that and Twitter accounts would be great.
Definitely, and that's really amazing that if we all post and retweet each other, that just amplifies how many people see each post, each tweet, so it just makes our whole name that much stronger.
Yes.
So thanks for that question.
I had a question. This is Diana Grayson from the West Morris section. We have not been using social media. We have enough trouble getting our members to come to our events and that sort of thing. But I'm wondering, you mentioned at one point that using these kind of tools would help bring in new members and energize members, and I'm wondering, how does that really work? I mean, how do we reach out to those people once we establish these accounts?
So, as I was saying in the beginning of the Facebook demonstration, you can sort of advertise yourself to individuals within certain demographics. So if you're looking for people interested, Jewish women between certain ages who are interested in feminism, that'll be shown to them. And also, a really good way is to promote your events, and especially your coalition events, by bringing in other groups and tweeting at other groups or mentioning other groups in your Facebook posts. Because that way, it won't just be the community that, the NCJW community that already sees these. It'll be shown to a wider network and possibly to people who wouldn't otherwise have known about what we're doing and might be interested in joining.
I would also like to recommend that you go through your Facebook page and see who is already liking your page. And if you see a name that you don't recognize, you can message them and say, like, hello, this is Diana, and I wanted to let you know about this event that we're having. I see that you like our page, and this is an event I think you'd be interested in. And I hope you can join us, and send them the information. And again, once you have more people who are liking your page, more people will see your events, and when you promote them on social media, and that's how you can use it to get new members.
And that's also why it's so important for people to use these tools personally, because if you have members who are retweeting or reposting things that you post, their entire networks are going to see that, and so maybe their friends or their family members will see that and want to get involved, and be even more inclined to do so because they know somebody who's already involved. So that's another good way to use it.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
This is Alex. We have the instance, of an old Facebook page that someone created. It was the group, the nonprofit group in Omaha, and the person's now gone. So they're gone, their password's gone. So we have a dead-end Facebook that we ignore now. We got a new one. But it's somewhat a warning to others to be very careful with the base name. Does it have to be a human, or can the base name be what I call the base name, the organization?
What do you mean by base name? Could you just speak more to that?
It's like I go in, and in my Facebook thing, I then create the NCJW. Okay. So when I disappear, no one can make any changes, and no one can get to it.
So you can actually give multiple people access to an organization's Facebook page. For example, at National, I have access, as Rebecca, I have access to the Facebook page. Aviva has access to the page. Lauren Baum in our office has access. Lindsay has access to it. Leanne, a lot of people have access to it. Because this way, if someone sees something and they want to post, or say, I am sick one day, they can post on my behalf. So if you give
someone, that's great, and I feel better about that. Except, so there's someone that I can contact can give me directions, because we still have one person on the current Facebook page, and she couldn't figure out how to get other people on it.
Yeah, definitely reach out to either of us. You see our contact information on this slide here. Definitely reach out to us to give others access to the page.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments, or maybe something you'd like to share about, the social media work that your section's been doing so far?
No, I think what you're explaining, it's a matter of playing with everything and getting to work on it.
Absolutely, yes. Like we said, the more you use it, the more comfortable you'll be with it. And the more you'll enjoy using it, because it really becomes a conversation. among peers, among NCJW members for your section's social media accounts. It's a really, really interesting and important tool. So.
Yeah, the old adage, you know, you have to write letters to get letters also applies to social media, really. You know, you have to write tweets to get tweets in return, so.
I've one question. So if I want to go for our event we have coming up, I just go at NCJW and then see what we're doing, correct? Do I need to do a hashtag first?
So it's up to you. It depends what you are trying to do. If you want to encourage people at the event to talk about the event while it's happening, you can make up a hashtag and just tell people to tweet using it. If you email us in advance, we can look out for that hashtag and encourage people to use it or encourage people to follow it. And if you email us beforehand, we can look out for the tweet, or you can tag us in a tweet like I showed earlier, and we'll see it and be able to retweet you. So either email us or tag us. But we are, you know, we're people here in this office, and we read our emails and would be, like I said, more than happy to showcase the work, the incredible work that you guys are all doing.
Can I jump in there? This is Lindsay, and I see that people are already tweeting. I saw Vancy Boyer and Barbara Leibowitz has tried that, and it's great. And you might have seen, this is Lindsay, I've liked your tweet. Just a couple things. First, we've learned that if you start with a handle, so if you start with someone's name with the @ if you don't put a period before it, it becomes a direct message and not a public message. I realize that's sort of nuanced. So what that means is if you start with @NCJW, you'll be messaging NCJW directly, and it doesn't show up on your public page. So if you want to keep it on your public page, put a period before it when it starts the message. So you'll see people doing that. The other thing,
the period goes where, please, again, Rebecca?
It's Lindsay. It goes right before the @ sign. So you put a dot, a period at NCJW.
It's almost like coding. So .at NCJW.
Yeah, and that's only when the handle starts the message. The other thing I'll say is we love to promote when you guys have a news article. However, so many sections are doing so many amazing events, and we don't have the capacity over Twitter to be promoting all of your events. So I don't want to commit to that. And also, we don't have the right audience for a local event. So another good thing is when you start having a section Twitter or Facebook handle at each event to encourage people to sign on it, so that you're targeting the right people when you have an event, to announce it on your Twitter handle, and that all the people who are following you will see that you have an event.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really good point, Lindsay. Thank you for that.
This is Christy Weston again in Minneapolis. I just wanted to throw something out there too, something that the executive director here and I have been thinking about is doing sponsored posts, which are not very expensive. Throwing $5 or $10 behind a post gives you a bigger audience that you may not normally reach. I'm not sure if you guys have anything to say about that or your feelings on that, but certainly I feel like if you are just starting a Facebook group of some sort, it might be worthwhile to do that to engage more people. Just a thought.
Yeah, absolutely. That is definitely something we think about and something that we actually do sometimes. We were going to save that piece for 201, but since you mentioned it, no, don't worry about it at all. We didn't want to overwhelm. Really, that's a great idea because you can do what's called Facebook advertising, or on Twitter you can sponsor a post. And in the same way that Aviva was explaining at the very beginning of her Facebook presentation, you can target an audience for the advertisement itself. So in the same way that you targeted your audience at the beginning. So you can target, feminists between the ages of, 22 and 65 living in your particular city. In that way, you can target moms. Really interestingly, Facebook does not have an option to target dads, which I think is kind of interesting. But you can target moms, target different kinds of audiences. So if anyone has more questions about Facebook ads or Twitter sponsors, feel free to reach out to us. It's a great, great idea. Thank you for bringing that up.
Do we have any other comments or questions from the audience?
Okay, it's Alice again. Do you find, well, it's not national, I want to ask, it's more of the section. Do you guys still, if you're doing the Facebook like we are, do you also still have your website? Is it duplicate, or what are the sections doing that use Facebook and Twitter?
So,
yeah, we still have our website, and what we like to do is if we have a new resource or a blog post, for example, we will take the link from the website and put it on Facebook.
Having a Facebook and having a website definitely go hand in hand. Social media can certainly amplify what you're doing on the website, and that's all. It's important to have a website as a major repository of information for maybe new members or for other members to see what's going on because of the format of the post. You know, you don't want to post anything too long or too in-depth or detailed, because then nobody's going to read just a block of text. But on a website, you can have all that info. So it's great to have both. It's great to have all three: Twitter, Facebook, and your website. We would highly encourage that.
Great, thanks.
No problem. So I'll give another moment for anybody else who'd like to make a comment before we wrap up.
And if you have questions that we didn't get to, or if you have something you'd like to know more about, please feel free to reach out to either of us. We both love social media and are happy to talk about it all the time. So
absolutely. All right. So if there's nothing else, I just want to thank everybody for your questions and your participation. You now have the tools to get started, and we hope that you'll all begin tweeting, posting, and connecting with your fellow NPJW members. So as you can see, again, here's our contact information, and DC's contact Jody. And we'll be sending out a number of resources for everyone to use as a follow-up to everything you've learned today. And just as a reminder, this call was recorded, and the audio will be available soon. We hope you found this session helpful, and don't forget to keep an eye out for our next session, Social Media 201, where we'll go even more in-depth. So we hope you all have a great week, and we hope to see you at 201.
Ladies, thank you for such a great presentation. Have a happy 2016.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.